You could be encouraged to buy things that you don't really need. Over the summer, I worked at a retail store, and I just did it as a summer job, a seasonal thing to make some extra money because I am a school teacher. So during the summers, I'm typically off, not doing as much work or anything like that. So I have more free time to do things like that. I'm not going to mention the store that I worked at, and the reason why is because I don't know if that is something that would be a problem to name drop and things like that. So I'm going to leave that part out for this particular video. One thing that I can tell you is that it is a very large company and that it basically sells homeowner materials, I guess you could say, right? You go there to buy things for your house and stuff like that. I worked in a section that is kind of dedicated to the outdoor stuff. So different outdoor things, gardening and stuff like that. So that's just a little bit of background of what I was doing while I was at this retail place. But that's not really the primary focus. The focus I want to talk about is what real retail workers are trained to do, at least in this particular company, but I imagine it's standard practice across many different companies, the things I'm going to talk about today. But what those retail workers are essentially trained to do when they interact with customers, with you, when you come into the store. So one of the things that I learned at this particular company is that they really push credit cards. They push credit, and they want the customer to come in and essentially sign up for their deals, their different cards and things like that. And the reason why they train their employees to push credit is because, as they said in the trainings, when I was going through the trainings, they said that people who have their credit card, are more likely to spend more money when they come to the store. And interestingly enough, they're more often to come to the store in the first place. So essentially, if you can get the customer to get a credit card with the store, they are more likely to spend more money at the store in the long run and in the short term. And so they would often reward employees for getting customers signed up for the cards, and also reward employees for getting customers to spend money with the credit cards. So that was a big part of the training. And in fact, they spent a lot of time talking about the rewards and things, and also the ways to talk to customers to encourage them to do that. So if you find yourself being encouraged to sign up for a card, just know that probably the employee has been trained and taught to do that, and they may actually be getting a reward for doing that as well. So all you have to do is say no, and unfortunately, depending on the employee, you might have to say no multiple times. Depends on how big of a salesman they are. The next thing that I learned when I went through this training and spent time in retail over the summer is that they wanted us to tag items. From what I was doing when I was doing some research on this beforehand, apparently clothing is very big on this, tagging items into the customer's cart. So essentially, here's how that works. The employee comes up to you and they ask what it is you're looking for, or if there's anything they can do to help. And if you say, yeah, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, well, first of all, they will help you find that thing. But then, in addition to helping you find whatever it is that you're looking for, they will then make extra recommendations for other products that could go well with the product that you're looking for. So again, I was in like essentially a homeowner type of store. So if a homeowner came in looking for something, I would help them find it and then say, you know what, since you're doing plumbing, here's something else you could buy that could help you with your plumbing project. So in the clothing store, like I said, going back to that, in the clothing store, if you are looking for a certain shirt or coat or something like that, then apparently the employee is supposed to also encourage you to buy a particular pant or skirt or some other thing that could match whatever it is that you're looking for, essentially completing the outfit for you. And that's called tagging items to your cart. So again, going back to my training, the talk was if you can tag items to the cart, you can potentially increase the amount of sales that the store makes by anywhere from $30 to $70 just by adding in a couple more items to their cart by encouraging them to buy X, Y, and Z in addition to the thing that they came to buy. So if you see an employee recommending things to you, it's probably them trying to tag items into your cart because that's what they've been told to do. Recommend other things, encourage you to buy those in addition to what you came to the store to buy, and then walk out with that. That's why Alora and I talk about sticking to the list. If you don't have a list and you're not willing to stick to it, you could be encouraged to buy things that you don't really need, but now here you are buying it anyway because you've been encouraged to do so. The last thing that we were told to do is that if a customer comes into the store and can't find the product they're looking for, and you yourself cannot find it because maybe the store does not have that product within it, then the thing we're supposed to do is we're supposed to encourage the customer to go online. And this, I think, is going to be a growing trend across many different stores. Many stores have an online platform in addition to the actual big box store that they're at. So they are training their employees to direct the customer to the online platform if they can't find what they're looking for within the store. This is one that I found that among the employees wasn't the biggest thing that they would push. Yes, maybe some of the earlier or newer employees like myself would encourage that because we simply had no other alternatives. So we'd say, hey, I guess you could look online and maybe you can find what you're looking for there. But I noticed that a lot of the older employees weren't as convicted about that. They would often recommend other stores that may have what they are looking for. So I found that to be interesting, that it's not this synonymous thing that the training always works with the employee. The employees sometimes are just trying to build those personal relationships and, try to get the customer the best deal that they can. So I want to kind of end it on that. Not every employee is trying to get you to spend a ton of money. Some of them are just doing a job, and they will oftentimes try to get you, the customer, the best deal that you can. So it's not like every person wearing a uniform in the store is out to try to take your money. Some are just doing it to work, and they really don't care whether you buy a product or not. But just so you know, when you go in, those tactics are being used. They're not just things that the people in the corporation somewhere are hoping that their employees will use. These are things that are being pushed and pushed consistently by the people up top to get the workers down below to do those things with regularity. So keep that in mind as the customer. If you're trying to cut back on shopping or spending, the best way to do that would be to stick to the list. Keep in mind what you want and go and get only that stuff. Don't get deviated by tagging items. Or the other thing is, don't go in debt for things that you're shopping. Only buy what you can afford. Don't get the credit card that goes with that particular store, because you are more than likely going to spend more money than you wanted to. And the stores know that. The stores know that. All right.